Happening now, a Jamestown man accused in a fatal hit-and-run crash of a teen last year is allegedly responsible for yet another fatal collision. And we're highlighting the needs of a local soup kitchen, which they hope you'll help fill next week. Plus, the result of a Christmas care package drive sending a piece of home to our U.S. troops this holiday season.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould, and we start with live breaking news. A 71-year-old woman was killed and several others were hurt following a crash in northern Chautauqua County over the weekend, and the man accused in this case has allegedly been allegedly responsible for another similar incident. The man accused of hitting and killing a 15-year-old girl in Jamestown last December is accused in another crash here in Chautauqua County. It happened back on New Year's Eve in 2021 when Randall Rolson allegedly struck and killed Alexis Hugan as she was crossing West 6th Street near Washington Street in Jamestown. Rolson, who's accused of driving while ability impaired by drugs and leaving the scene of a personal injury accident in connection with this crash, he was later released due to New York State's bail reform. Well, now, nearly a year later, New York State Police say he was involved in another fatal collision. Troopers report that Rolson allegedly failed to stop at a stop sign at the intersection of Center Road and State Route 83 in the town of Arkwright on Saturday night, striking a Ford pickup. As a result, 71-year-old South Dayton resident Linda Kramer was ejected from the pickup and later pronounced dead at the scene. Rolson, along with other passengers involved in the accident, were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Now, as of this morning, state police have not yet charged Rolson with a crime. However, they have identified him as the responsible party in the accident. Troopers tell us their investigation continues, and when they release more information, we'll be sure to update you here on air and online. And a 44-year-old Jamestown man is accused of assaulting a person with a knife during a burglary at a local apartment. Jamestown police arrested Rashawn Smith following the alleged crime at a Parkview Apartments on West 4th Street in Jamestown last Friday. Smith is accused of breaking into a unit and assaulting one person with a knife while menacing another victim with a weapon. When arrested, police allegedly found a quantity of methamphetamine in Smith's possession. A 22-year-old Jamestown man faces felony charges following the alleged theft of a dirt bike here in Chautauqua County. State police investigators arrested Cortland Hefner on Saturday following a months-long investigation in the town of Ripley. Troopers allege that back in June, Hefner broke a garage window, gaining access to a residence and subsequently stealing a Kawasaki dirt bike worth $4,000. Just a few days later, troopers located the stolen bike in Dunkirk and were able to return it to the owner. While multiple sources named Hefner as the primary suspect in the burglary, troopers were not able to make an arrest until later this month. Hefner was ultimately charged with grand larceny, a Class D felony, and burglary, a Class C felony. Well, an annual 3-day food drive to benefit one of Jamestown's largest and only soup kitchen is kicking off next week. Our Bronson Rasmussen joins us live now in the newsroom today with more. Hello, Bronson.
Hey, Justin. Collecting donations for over 10 years now, organizers Keith Martin and Cherry Rollin are accepting donations. They have gathered more and more every year.
We're excited for what's going to happen December 15th, 16th, and 17th. Our community is so wonderful. They've supported us for 9 years now, and the 10th year is going to be the best ever.
Since their collection efforts last year, due to inflation, the price of food has risen, ultimately leading to more of a need at the soup kitchen.
Inflation is hitting us all very hard, and just like our own households, we're seeing that at St. Susan Center. And I feel it might be an impact that the Jamestown community is such an awesome community and has done so much for St. Susan Center over the past 35 plus years.
Even with this obstacle, organizers are still hopeful for the generous Jamestown community.
If we can do $1 more and we can do $1 or £1 more, we've done something very special. But whatever we bring in those 3 days will be more than what St. Susan's had today.
Currently, the soup kitchen is on track to serve over 34,000 meals for the 2022 year, with a of 120 each day, a 15% increase from last year. The group will start accepting donations December 15th and 16th from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. and Saturday, December 17th from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m., where they will then drive the donations to the soup kitchen. Reporting in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. Well, the city of Jamestown, they rang in the holiday season on Saturday night with a Christmas parade and municipal tree lighting. While the fireworks display was called off due to high winds, hundreds of residents lined 3rd Street in downtown to take part in this annual tradition, which featured a variety of over 80 floats from local businesses, groups, government organizations, and the Jamestown High School Marching Band. The parade's host, Collaborative Children's Solutions, honored the Stone family as this year's Grand Marshal. Matt and Danielle Stone hold a yearly backpack drive giving back to the foster care system after adopting 4 kids of their own. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist tells us that even though the parade's over, there's still a lot to do here in the city throughout the Christmas season.
The tree will stay up well past the holidays, so we're really excited about that. Please have them come down. The businesses do stay open in the evening. You can come check things out, but we're just very excited going into the holidays this year.
Following the parade, Santa Claus had the chance to meet with local kids one-on-one and hear their holiday wishes as well. And it's always such a joy to be able to bring that parade to so many people who were able to attend in person or maybe want to watch it after the fact. I know Dakota, we've been doing this for several years now, and I honestly think every year the broadcast gets better and better, and really it's all about the kids at the end of the day.
Yep. And I mean, you know, these are memories that you make with your kids and of course with your family, because, you know, like I said during the coverage, I remember coming down and, you know, seeing the parade as a kid or even watching it on TV all those years back. So these are just memories that, you know, are good to make. And speaking of making memories, it's good out there right now. The Olean Skycam showing you just a few high clouds in the sky for today. That's pretty much going to be it. The sunshine is really going to have control of our weather for today, as high pressure is in control of the northeast right now. We only managed 33 for the high yesterday, started the day at 24, 60, and a goose egg are the records. Those records are safe for another year, at least that low temperature. So as we go hour by hour, you can see here we'll be at least warming up into the lower 30s. It's right around the lower 40s. It's where we should be for this time of the year, with partly to mostly sunny skies. Now I've got some rain in the forecast. We'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-Day later in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we will see you back in just a little bit. Thank you very much. Coming up, we're breaking down the latest efforts to fight the rise of RSV here in New York State, and later why the state's health commissioner is resigning. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Looking for an honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWias Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWias Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWias Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York's U.S. Senator held a press conference detailing the state's surge in respiratory synthetical virus cases, also known as RSV. Chuck Schumer was joined by officials from Cohen's Children's Medical Center on Sunday. He noted that this is the busiest RSV season that we've seen in the past decades and called on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to take immediate action.
They can help with supplies and structures. If a hospital needs, say, a temporary structure, like a makeshift hospital like we saw during COVID, to help screen young patients. If a hospital needs more respirators or breathing equipment, they can supply those. And third, they can augment the use of telehealth.
In addition to children, adults ages 65 and up and people with weakened immune systems are also considered as groups most vulnerable to severe RSV infections. Well, quarterback Deshaun Watson returned to the NFL Sunday after serving an 11-game suspension. His first game for the Cleveland Browns was against the Texans, his previous team at NRG Stadium in Houston. Watson returned to the field and was met by a mix of boos and cheers as he played what was his first regular season game in 2 years. The 27-year-old missed all of last season after more than 30 alleged sexual misconducts against him. Attorneys for Watson settled many of the lawsuits. Watson paid a $5 million fine to the NFL. He has a 5-year, $230 million contract, which most guaranteed money in the NFL football's history. The Browns won their first game with Watson as the starring QB, 27-14 over the Texans. He had only won one so far this season. Well, the Capitol is starting to get into the holiday spirit. The Office of General Services has put up the Christmas tree. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein tells us about the history behind the tree.
The Capitol Christmas tree tradition started in 1976. Every year, the tree is selected from New York families who apply to have their tree displayed outside the Capitol.
It's part of what makes it special, right? And so it's not coming from a tree farm. It's people that are giving a little piece of their home and their backyard so that the rest of the Capitol region can benefit from it.
And each year there are about 40 to 60 applications from families across the state. Before the tree of the year is chosen, the groundskeeping crew from the Office of General Services looks through the applications and visits the trees to inspect the needles, the branches, and the overall health of the tree. Moy says they want to be sure the tree is not only full and reminiscent of holiday joy, but that it's healthy enough to make it through the entire holiday season. This year, there are two Capitol Christmas trees. One is a 40-foot-tall blue spruce coming from a family in Voorheesville, a village a little outside of Albany County, and the other is a 40-foot-tall Norway spruce coming from a family in Schenectady.
They're both beautiful. I mean, every year I think the trees look fantastic, but this year they really are quite majestic.
The trees were put up on the Capitol about 2 weeks. The General Services grounds team uses a crane, a tractor trailer, and other tools to get the trees standing tall and secure. The trees are strung with over 2,000 LED lights that run on timers during the holiday season. Moy says that this year is a particularly special year for the Capitol Christmas tree because following the pandemic, there are more people outside ready to enjoy the tree and the ice skating in front of it. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
New York State's health commissioner will resign January 1st after 13 months into the job to return to Harvard University's T.H. Chang School of Public Health. Mary Bassett said in a statement Friday that she was leaving now so the next commissioner can have the chance to lead the great department for a full 4-year term under Governor Hochul's leadership. Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat, won her first term in November's election after taking over following the 2021 resignation of former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Hochul said in a statement that Bassett led the department during one of the most challenging public health eras of our lifetimes, the coronavirus, monkeypox, and polio outbreaks. She thanked Bassett for her service. Well, coming up, the totals from a weekend Christmas care package drive near Jamestown that shipped a piece of home for the holidays to our troops abroad. But first, when we return, we take a full look at our weather forecast, so stay right there. WNY News Now is back after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
The issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody, and wanted to start off with a great picture from our friend Don of a nice bird sitting in a tree there. And I'm not too up on my birds, so please forgive me for not knowing the exact kind of bird it is, but it is a bird nevertheless. So that's pretty much what we have in that for you. So if you have any pictures or videos of the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter, the First Defense Weather page on Facebook, and always use that hashtag MyLocalWX. And even though the snow is kind of gone across your lawns, we still do have snow at some of the ski resorts, especially Holiday Valley. They're still open at 4 to 20 inch bases. Peak and Peak will be opening this week, and Hollymont and Mount Pleasant down there in Edinburgh plans to be opening in the next week or two. Also tonight we have a shot of seeing the International Space Station as a pass will be making very close to the region just after sunset tonight. 6:05 p.m. will be the time for the ISS pass over. It'll be moving west northwest to southeast, and it'll be visible for 6 minutes. So a nice window there to get out and spot the men and women aboard. Of course you won't be able to see them, but you get what I mean. 38 degrees right now at noon hour, a south wind of 14. It is a bit breezy with a wind gust of 21, and that average wind speed of 14 knocks the wind chill down to 30. That's what it feels like when you step outside compared with the air temperature and the wind combined together. So here's what's going on the satellite and radar composite. We basically have, well, first of all, the temperatures. I forgot I had this in here. The temperatures over the next 5 days, we're going to kind of average out for today and tomorrow. We'll shoot back up to 50 on Wednesday. Then we're down the hill we go. So, you know, if you ride rides at the fair, keep hands and feet in the ride at all times. So here's what's going on. We have high pressure across the northeast right now, but there's another cold front lingering across the upper Great Lakes. That's going to move on through on Wednesday, and that is going to produce cooler air along with maybe some rain and snow showers at times. So let's show it to you on the newest Run of Future scan. The modeling does pick up on some of those light clouds at times, those high level clouds. Now this is right around 9 o'clock tonight. Now we should be partly cloudy through the early evening. Clouds will thicken up through the overnight hours, then we'll catch rain showers by tomorrow morning. I don't think the rain tomorrow is going to be all lasting all day. As you can see here, by the time we go into the afternoon hours, it will start to taper off by the time we catch more more rain showers, maybe even mixing with a few wet snow showers on Wednesday. So partly cloudy early. There's the forecast details for tonight, 32 to 39 with that south wind. Now, as we take a look at the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, we've got 44 for tomorrow. Again, the temperatures kind of go up and down over the next couple of days. I think clouds hang tough on Thursday, so not much sunshine. The weekend looking mainly dry as of right now, but we may catch a light rain or snow shower, Justin, next Sunday.
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Well, let's get some headlines from around the nation. And legislation that ensures same-sex and interracial marriages are recognized as legal unions appears to be headed for a final approval in President Joe Biden's signature. The measure, which would protect the rights of about 500,000 married couples, passed the Senate last week and now heads to the House this week for a near certain approval. For many of the couples whose marriages will be protected, approval of the Respect for Marriage Act brought a sense of relief and was a cause for celebration. But they also say more work needs to be done. Still, the broad support for the bill, which was backed by 12 GOP senators, was unexpected given the long and diverse history of the issue. President Biden says he will promptly and proudly sign it into law. Well, 5 days and 40 hours a week. It sounds pretty standard for a full-time job, right? But what if that standard changed? A 6-month experiment had dozens of participating companies just wrapped up, and organizers say it looks like a 4-day work week might actually be better for business. So, could this be our future? Mike Valerio walks us through the results.
A shortened work week sounds pretty good, right? But is it good for business? Millions switched to remote or hybrid work during the pandemic. Commuting time was scrapped, meetings got shorter or were done virtually. And the question of whether or not a traditional work schedule was necessary got louder.
We just saw people that were burnt out and tired.
So 33 companies with a total of 903 employees signed up to participate in a 6-month trial with the nonprofit called 4-Day Week Global and researchers at 3 universities.
The requirements are no reduction in pay, so all employees are still getting their 5 days pay. And there must be a meaningful reduction in work time.
Organizers say the trial was an overwhelming success. None of the 27 companies that completed the post-experiment survey said they were planning to go back to the 5-day work week.
The productivity is up, not down, from 4 days versus 5. How can I possibly argue to this building of intelligent human beings that I want to put them back on 5 days?
Workers reported lower levels of stress and fatigue. Company revenue was higher compared to the year prior, and some managers reported that having an extra day off gave their staff more energy to do their jobs.
One of the big benefits we've seen is just the perspective and almost kind of freshness that people bring to work with them.
And one 2021 survey showed that 70% of workers in America would support a shorter work week, while only 9% oppose.
The 5-day, 40-hour work week feels like this immutable law that was handed down by God at some point, but we invented it about 100 years ago. We just haven't updated it.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Now, a separate 6-month trial is happening right now in the UK with 70 companies and over 3,000 workers. Results from that trial are due sometime in February. Well, OPEC and its allies are sticking with their policy of curtailing oil output. Sunday's announcement came just hours before Western sanctions on Russian crude oil exports went into full force. Oil producers, including Russia, say they would continue to restrict supply by 2 million barrels per day. That policy started last month and is due to run through the end of 2023. The move drew criticism from the United States because it would hurt low and middle-income countries with higher energy prices. Markets could be volatile in the coming days. Europeans' ban on importing oil from Russia shipped by sea starts on Monday. However, Russian authorities said Sunday that it will not force oil companies that impose price caps even if production is cut. Well, coming up next, hear how our community is stepping up to help Christmas for our troops, sending them care packages to men and women deployed.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
There are two silver linings here. One, that no injuries were reported, and two, they were able to contain the fire from spreading further.
Western New York has a new congressional member representing them.
One of the things that made Betty White so unique was the fact that she connected generations of fans throughout the decades. Take a look at the display here.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Before they marched in the parade on Saturday, members of our community joined together to create Christmas care packages for active duty military members around the world. Julia Gress has more on how our local community stepped up to help pack care packages for our troops.
The Lake Erie, New York chapter of the Blue Star Mothers of America hosts a care package packing event annually and continue to grow each year, according to President Susan Rowley.
I have had more people contact me this year and just say we really want to be a part of this, and we welcome everyone with open arms.
16 years ago, when the moms started packing boxes, they sent 38 to troops deployed. Now the group regularly sends between 800 to 1,000 during the holidays. Julie Reynolds, who has 2 nephews in the military, was amongst those lending a hand.
You see kids and adults and dignitaries, and you see, oh my gosh, Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, fire department members, volunteer members from the fire department. It's amazing.
While the snacks and personal care items enclosed are essential, the letters mean the most to the recipients.
And that's why they go in last, so that's the first thing they see when they open the box. They know that love went into that box.
In addition to sending packages to a New York National Guard troop currently deployed, the mothers are also mailing boxes to a canine unit this year for 5 military dogs that will include toys and treats. Not only does this group support military members, but they also come together to support each other.
And our kids serve all over this world, and Blue Star Mothers, when we meet for our convention, we are sisters. We make bonds with people from all over the United States. We're sisters, and we understand each other.
Members of the Buffalo Niagara Region Blue Star Mothers, Annie Gross and Judy Kogler, stopped by the Fluvanna Church to lend a hand.
We did ours on Thursday, and it's definitely smaller scale. We sent out 125 packages.
Connecting with the moms in her own group and across the region is vital, especially during the holidays.
Both of my sons are in the Army, and when my oldest one went in, I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have connected with my Blue Star moms.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you so much for bringing that to us. In total, the community helped the moms pack 955 boxes on Saturday. Wow, what an incredible achievement. And you talk about the kickoff to Christmas. I think I've attended this packing drive for a number of years now. And our local Blue Star moms, every single one of them works so hard all year to prepare for this. And they always ask for the community's help because they couldn't do it without them. And the one thing I noticed when I drove in on Saturday, and if you went, you probably saw it too, the parking lot was packed 5 minutes after they started to pack boxes. It just shows you the dedication of people who show up early and often to be able to take part in such an incredible tradition that has a major impact. Well, that is going to do it for our newscast today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look outside of our window here over 3rd Street. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow live at